Well, hello, I'm Dr. Steve G. Jones, live from Niagara Falls, Canada. And as you can see in the background through my hotel room window, this is Niagara Falls. This is live, these are the falls. I've got a wonderful view, and I want to welcome you here today. We're going to talk about hypnosis. I'm going to answer questions. You know, a lot of times what happens is that people get hypnosis recordings, or they want to get hypnosis recordings, but they have questions about them. They don't know how to use them or what hypnosis is useful for, so they end up either not getting the help they need or getting confused. And hello, Christian. Hello and welcome. And if you're just joining, I am at Niagara Falls. That is the falls right behind me. A beautiful view from my room, and it's just been a wonderful time. I'm up here in Canada at what we call a mastermind meeting, which is a lot of my friends from around the world getting together and sharing ideas about how to spread the word about what we do. And what I do, of course, is hypnosis and neuro-linguistic programming and life coaching, but mainly hypnosis. And I always need people to get the word out there. So I'm helping my friends that are helping me. We've all gathered here to have fun and learn from each other. Just got done with lunch, had a few meetings this morning. Hello, Kathy, how are you? Nice to see you. Hello, Angelica. Good to see you. Good day to you, too. So beautiful Niagara Falls. Been spending the last few days getting really soaked, having a good time. Still a little wintry here, at least for an American. Still kind of wintry, still kind of cold, but a lot of fun at the same time. And Roberta says, hello, Steve. Hello to you too, Roberta. And Christian, hope you're well and having fun. Absolutely. Alex, good morning to you too. And Leela, hello, Dr. Steve. How are you? Nice to see you. Nice to see you too, Leela. I'm doing very well. Thank you. And Miss Rowley, difficult name, says I. One day I'll know how to pronounce your name. I'm going to get some help with that. And Carol, good to see you. I see we're getting some regulars, which is great. Hello, Jane. How are you? So today we're going to talk about questions and answers about hypnosis. If you're just joining, then go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Looks like we've got some regulars. Hello, Norma. So you're probably subscribed. And if you haven't already, go ahead and share this video with your friends and go ahead and like it. There should be a link below for that. And Gike says, good morning to you, Steve. Hello to you too. Tanya says, hi. And Deline says, pleasure to see you. You are in Canada, Dr. Jones. Are you holding any sessions here? Nope, just meeting with some friends from around the world about how we can spread the word about what we do. So I have friends who are in similar markets to mine, and we talk about how we can help each other to help the people we serve more efficiently. Elizabeth says, does subliminal tapes work? I want to stop smoking. Love your posts. Yes, well, simple answer to that, Elizabeth, is yes, they do work. I consider hypnosis to be more direct, but sometimes when you need an indirect approach, or if you need something to listen to during the day, then subliminal recordings can be just fine. And I'm going to touch the lens there so you can see the beautiful falls behind me. Talk about hypnotic. This has inspired me to create even more hypnosis recordings using this sort of imagery. And Jahira says, good afternoon, Dr. Steve. You look so young. Well, thank you very much. I'll be 50 next year, so I guess I'm doing something right. Thank you. Norma says, nice to see you again, my angel. Nice to see you, Norma. Brenda says, hi, Steve. Hello to you. EK says, good listen to you. Thank you. And Celie says, good morning from Israel. So I see we've got a wide viewership from around the world, and I'm seeing, as I've mentioned, some regulars. And that is absolutely wonderful because I want to be here for you. That's why I'm making myself available for you so that you can ask questions. If you're watching this Thursday afternoon, then it is live. It's afternoon on the East Coast where I am right now. I'm in Canada. And Jalen says, hi, Steve. Hello to you. Angelica says, hi. Well, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to talk a little bit about hypnosis, and I'm going to show you the falls. So you're going to have a learning opportunity and beautiful scenery opportunity at the same time. And then I'm going to field more of your questions. So let me go ahead and explain a little bit about hypnosis and clear up a few of the major myths about it, because a lot of people have some questions, some concerns, they've gotten some misinformation. So let me go ahead and start with that, and then we'll go ahead and jump right into the questions. So let's go ahead and start with the information first. So what I want to share with you is the fact that, first of all, if you listen to a hypnosis recording, you won't go into a coma. A lot of people actually believe that you may go into a coma if you listen to hypnosis. And so you won't go into a coma. You won't be made to cluck like a chicken or bark like a dog. That's in the world of what we call stage hypnosis. Stage hypnosis is for entertainment. Clinical hypnotherapy, what I practice, is for helping people. Both are equally valid. So I want you to realize that when you listen to a hypnosis recording, no one's attempting to get you to cluck like a chicken or bark like a dog. That's not the purpose of that. That's stage hypnosis, and that's not what I do. The purpose of a hypnosis recording is to get you to change something, lose weight, stop smoking, improve sales. Alex, you asked about that, improve sales. And we're going to answer direct questions later on, Alex, so hold that question if you would. And so what we find is that some people have a misconception. They kind of confuse the two. They heard about stage hypnosis where people cluck like a chicken. They heard that maybe you go into a coma, in fact. I'm not sure where that comes from. But a lot of people have misconceptions because they're confusing a lot of information they've heard. So what's actually important to keep in mind is, and I'm going to keep touching on the falls every now and then so you can see the falls also. I'll alternate between the falls and myself. What's important to keep in mind is there's a lot of misinformation out there about hypnosis. You will not fall into a coma. You will not become a zombie or anything like that. If you do fall asleep during hypnosis, it's fine because you'll wake up at the end of when you would normally wake up, at the end of a nap, for example. Some people just need a nap, and I've had clients come into my office and they're just sleep deprived. They need a nap. The great news is that the scales of hypnosis and sleep are the same scale. So we have alpha, the lightest state of hypnosis. That's also the lightest state of sleep when you're not really awake, not really asleep. You're just in that in-between zone. At that time, you're very suggestible. So we have the next stage of hypnosis and the next stage of sleep, which is theta. Theta is a deeper stage of hypnosis, and you would reach that normally when you sleep at night. So when you go to sleep at night, you will reach a theta state, and you will also reach, from time to time, a delta state, which is the deepest state of hypnosis and also the deepest state of sleep. So people often worry, well, what if I fall asleep listening to a hypnosis recording? I'm just clearing up some general questions at the top of the hour, then we'll get to specific questions. And by the way, I'll be here about a half an hour. So at the top of the half hour, I'm going to clear up some general questions, then we'll talk about your specific ones. But that tends to be a common question. What if I fall asleep listening to hypnosis recordings? And if you'll notice, humans have eyelids, but they don't have earlids. Now, it sounds fairly basic, but it's very important. At night, when you go to sleep, your eyes close to block out visual stimuli. So you're not bothered with what's going on, but your ears still stay open. Your ears are always open and listening. And take, for example, a mother hearing a baby cry at night, or anyone hearing a noise in their home that doesn't belong there. Certain noises belong in your home when you go to sleep. Maybe a refrigerator, air conditioning, maybe people outside, maybe airplanes occasionally, depending on where you live. But what doesn't belong in that sound spectrum is someone breaking a window or pushing in a door. If you hear something like that, you will wake up. That's survival. That's what's built into you, your hearing, that monitors your environment all the time, 24/7, even while you're quote-unquote sleeping. So remember, the stages of sleep are no different from the stages of hypnosis, the exact same scale. So when you're deep in sleep, you're also deep in hypnosis. And when you think you're asleep, you're really in a state where your mind is still alert, your hearing is still active to keep you alive. And because of that, we can use that to your advantage during hypnosis, even if you fall asleep, because you'll still take in the information. And if you're just joining me, go ahead and like this, go ahead and share this. If you're listening on Thursday afternoon on the East Coast, this is live. May still be morning on the West Coast in the United States, and we've got many viewers from around the world. So go ahead and like this, go ahead and share this, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Seeing a lot of regulars, so I think we're getting some traction here. Some people really big fans of this. If you're just tuning in, I'm going to click on the, touch the screen so you can see Niagara Falls live behind me. Look at that, the water flowing from the American side down here to the Canadian side where I am. and just having just a wonderful time here with some people from around the world who are interested in creating programs like I do, sharing them with the world. I have friends here from around the world in Canada this week, and we're talking about the ways we can help people to spread the word wider and better. That's what we do, and that's what we're talking about at the mastermind where I am. Now, in this broadcast, what I'm talking about is questions and answers. I want to hear from you and hear what you're having challenges with. So, let's go ahead and open it up to some questions. I want to hear from you. I want to hear questions that you have about hypnosis. And we had a question a little while ago. Thank you, Celia. Nice view. Yes, I agree. The falls are absolutely amazing behind me. Just a spectacular view I have. I am very fortunate to have this view. So, Norma says, I'm at work right now. Well, I'm glad you're allowed to listen at work or watch at work. Arthur says, how can alert hypnosis subliminal tracks work? Okay, so subliminal technology is based on the idea that if your subconscious mind isn't able to perceive all of the words, they still go into your subconscious mind. If your conscious mind, rather, is not able to perceive all of the words, not only is that okay, but it's actually beneficial because your critical factor is taken out of the picture. You know, your critical factor, when I tell you you're going to be wealthy, you say, I don't know about that. When I say you're going to lose weight, you say, I don't know about that. That's your critical factor, your conscious mind. Subliminal recordings work by masking the messages under audio, under usually relaxing sounds and relaxing ocean sounds and music. That's the way I do it. And delivering that message undetected by your critical factor to your subconscious mind, where it can have a tremendous impact. And by the way, got a new website I want to kind of brag about here because I'm very happy about it, very proud of it. It's called hypnosisbystevegjones.com. Just a streamlined website where you can get all your hypnosis needs met. So anything that we talk about, if you want to pick that up, it's available at hypnosisbystevegjones.com. I'm here to help you right now. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to answer your questions. I'm here to be a resource for you. So I do want to hear your questions right now. And let's go ahead and scroll back a little bit. Ella says, hi, hello to you. And Ike says, can we program mind during sleeping? Absolutely, because as I mentioned earlier, when you go to sleep, it's no different from being in deep hypnosis. So you can absolutely do that, yes. Jane says, can we do hypnosis through Skype or telephone? Yes, I actually offer hypnosis through telephone. When you think about it, hypnosis is just words, words being delivered. There's no physical touch required in hypnosis. In NLP, sometimes there is. If you were to get a massage over the phone or Skype, I don't think that would make much sense. But hypnosis does make sense to deliver through the phone or Skype because it's just words being delivered to you. So if you can listen to a hypnosis recording, then of course you can listen to hypnosis live through phone or Skype. And I do hypnosis sessions in audio interviews all the time, same exact concept. So hypnosis is audio-based, and because of that, and because phones are audio-based and Skype delivers audio, you can be hypnotized by phone or Skype, yes. And let's see what else we have. We have Marianne saying, love the binary recordings. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. My assistant came up with that idea almost 10 years ago now, and actually won an award for those because it was such a breakthrough idea. So I'm glad you love them. Thank you very much, Marianne. And Arthur says, but there are some with no sound. I can't hear anything. Yes, a lot of subliminal recordings, and again, I'm touching on the falls here, so if you're just tuning in, you can enjoy the view of the falls here at Niagara Falls. Yes, the idea with subliminal recordings is that you will not hear the words. Now, if you're talking about audios with no sound at all, I have not heard of that technology. That sounds interesting, and I'm going to explore that myself, Arthur, because I've not heard of any type of subliminal recordings or hypnosis recording with zero sound. That interests me. I don't know about that, and I'm going to check into that. Contessa says, can hypnosis help with working memory? Yes. I have a kiddo, 11, who struggles with learning because of working memory. Absolutely, Contessa. The first thing to do would be to talk to a therapist, a mainstream therapist. A medical doctor could give you a good referral. There may be a physiological issue going on that you'll definitely want to get checked out. But the short answer to your question is yes, hypnosis can actually work. I always recommend, though, going to a medical doctor first. All right, and if you're just joining, go ahead and like this, go ahead and share this, because I want to get as many questions as possible. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, so you'll know next time I'm live. After this, I'll be going to Florida. I'll be on the beach, so we'll have another great view for you. I always deliver a great view, and I'm working on delivering great content for you because I want to help you out. And let's scroll forward here and see what's next. Elizabeth says, hi, Dr. Steve G. Jones. Hello. No audio or camera to see you live right now at the moment. The library where I am connected internet through a computer is closing now, but I will listen to broadcasts later on. Awesome. And Matthew has joined. Hello, Matthew. My Irish film producer. We had Matthew on a previous episode where he popped in at the end. A very wonderful film producer from Ireland. And we have Ida. Hi, Dr. Steve. I look forward to these. I'm learning so much. Excellent, Ida. Thank you. Kathy says, my mom listens to your sleep hypnosis and her blood pressure came down. Excellent. Hypnosis is very helpful for helping you relax. So I'm glad she's getting the relief she needs. Anytime you've got a medical issue, though, be sure, and Kathy, this is for you, be sure that you go to a medical doctor about that. So rather than just relying on hypnosis, you want to make sure you go to a medical doctor. And then also you can use hypnosis if you want, and maybe the medical doctor will actually say, that's a wonderful idea, and lead you in the direction of certain types of hypnosis recordings you can get, or at least you'll get the blessing. But the reason I recommend going to a medical doctor first is just in case there's an underlying issue that has a physiological component. Okay, many people don't know this, but I studied pre-med for a little while when I was at the University of Florida. I thought I was going to be a medical doctor for a while. Then I realized, I think my realm is more in the mind. I think that's where I will make my contribution to the world. Jason says, is leaving the TV on while someone sleeps, programming them, commercials, etc.? Absolutely, Jason. The people who make those commercials are counting on it. You notice late at night, the TV gets a little louder when the commercials come on because they know what time it is. They know what you should be doing at that time. They know you're probably drifting off to sleep. So they're geared toward that to sell you things. So absolutely, your TV can program you. I don't mean to sound ominous when I say that, but absolutely. So sleeping with the TV on, not a great idea, especially for people who are highly suggestible, because you can be programmed by your television. Not to sound ominous or like Big Brother's out to get you, it's just the way it is. Anything you listen to or anyone you listen to while you're falling to sleep, make sure it's positive, make sure it's a good message that you want in your mind, because you retain it so much easier. Gika says, what if one is in deep sleep or theta state? That's fine. If you're in deep sleep or theta state, there's no separate scale, remember. So the scale for sleep is the same as the scale for hypnosis. So if you're in deep sleep and you're in theta at the same time, which by definition would happen because theta is deep sleep and deep sleep can be theta or delta, then you're absolutely fine. You're still getting the messages. Celia says, not sorry I met you through a hackers. Okay, well, I'm not sorry either. I'm glad you met me, no matter how you met me. And we do have people using my identity a lot. They take my pictures, they use my name, they create these scam Facebook profiles, so beware of that. We hear a lot of reports of those. I'm well aware of that. We have no way of controlling that, so just report them when you see them, and I would appreciate that. You'll be saving Interpol and the FBI a lot of time if you will just simply report them. Norma says, I will check. I want to buy a program for my 16-year-old daughter. She dreamed to be a famous singer. She wants to do 2 auditions to The Voice. Okay, excellent. Absolutely. I have a program called Overcoming Stage Fright, which I think she would find most fascinating. By the way, that reminds me, got a new website I'm really proud of. Got some great people behind it, some great people who want to just help the world. They're behind this site. They're just putting things there, and it's all marked down. I mean, it's just a no-brainer. There's really no way to lose on this. So check it out when you get a chance. It's called hypnosisbystevegjones.com. Arthur says, yes, no audio at all. Okay, so you're not able to hear me, but hey, if you can read lips, or perhaps you can watch this later, or at least join in on the questions. Agnes says, Hello, and hello to you from Austria. I've been there. I've been to Salzburg, a wonderful place. Alex says, yes, sales help, yes. So Alex, to answer your question that you asked at the top of the broadcast, hypnosis helps definitely with sales. One of the things with sales you'll notice is it's a numbers game. You have to get on the call or meet prospects or what have you. It's a numbers game. The more people you meet, the more yeses you get. The more no's you go through, the more yeses you get to. So I do have a recording for that, but more importantly, your subconscious mind can control that. So Alex, you start changing the way you think about your prospects, start putting a vision board together where you have goals, monetary goals, or talk to a certain amount of prospects goals, and you will find that things fall into place for you. So hypnosis absolutely helps with that. For those of you just joining, I am live at Niagara Falls. That is Niagara Falls behind me. I'm on the Canadian side, flowing over from beautiful New York, flowing down here to wonderful Canada, and I am live and happy to be here, happy to be helping you. We're talking about hypnosis questions and answers, Q&A. So anything you want to know about hypnosis, go ahead and ask. This is your opportunity. If you haven't already, go ahead and like this, go ahead and share this with your friends, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, so you'll know next time that I'll be live. And let's see what we have here. Edie says, hello, Steve. Come visit Brazil. His welcome kisses. Well, thank you, Edie. I love Brazil. Haven't been there yet, but I have a lot of friends from there, and I think it's a wonderful country. And I think Brazil has tremendous potential, absolutely tremendous potential. And if I'm not mistaken, that's where the Olympics are going to be held this year, the Summer Olympics. So that is awesome as well. Sen is the last name. How can two hypnotized guys talk in a totally random language unknown to them, say Martian? Does it mean that language is part of the collective consciousness of the human race? Okay, so what that person with the last name of Sen is talking about is a stage hypnosis show. So remember, stage hypnosis and clinical hypnotherapy, two different things. In a stage hypnosis show, you will see people talking in Martian dialect. Now, that doesn't really mean anything. That's just for entertainment, because stage hypnosis is for entertainment. So usually in a stage hypnosis show, there'll be some part of the show where one person is told they're from Mars, the other person's told they're a translator of Martian, one person's told to talk in Martian, the other translates it. This is entertainment. It's not part of reality. There is no Martian language as far as I know. It's simply the person starts coming up with stuff that they just make up, and they start talking like that. So that's what people will do when they're prompted to do that on stage. They're still in hypnosis, so stage hypnosis is actually real, but these things are for entertainment. So I don't want you to think that Martian is actually a language and part of the collective consciousness, because it is not. Christian says, Christian from Asheville says, hello, Christian from Asheville, hi. And Michelle in UK says hi. She says hi, and she can't see you live video. She is stuck in traffic. I am sorry to hear that, but hopefully my voice will guide you through the traffic and make your day a little bit more fun. Top Reset is the last name. Hello, glad to meet you. Glad to meet you too. And Leela says, please accept me again. You are accepted. You're all accepted. Christina says, howdy. Well, howdy to you, Christina. Stephen or Stefan? Not sure how you pronounce it. Says, astral projection is difficult for me. Tried several times. Okay, astral projection is the concept that the theory that your soul is separate from your body, and you can consciously take control of that. And I do have programs on that, and I refer you to those programs. The new website's out. Check it out. I'm just so grateful for the people who are putting this together. Hypnosisbystevegjones.com. We have that there. So I encourage you to get that. Astral projection is something that's fascinating. For many, it's a theory. It's something that's perhaps conceptual, but it is the idea that your soul is separate from your body, and you can take conscious control of that. And if you have a specific question, I'll be glad to answer that. Jason says, the ADHD program worked well for me and working memory. Excellent, excellent. So, that is excellent. Thank you, Jason. Thank you for that. We appreciate the feedback. Arthur says, website has subliminals with no audible sound. Interesting. I don't know how that works. I don't know either, Arthur, but I'm going to check that out. That is very interesting. I have never heard of an audio that's not an audio at all, that has no sound. And that's what I think you're saying, if I'm understanding it correctly. I will definitely be checking that out. Miss Fasha says, good night from Indonesia. My lovely doctor, how are you, Dr. Steve? I am great. Miss Fasha, thank you, and good night to you. Matthew Toman says, hello, Steve, enjoying the live stream. Excellent. Matthew was the producer of a live stream when I was in Vegas recently, and filming there. We had Sonia Riccati on. Matthew came in at the end. We had a lady who had survived cancer, just a wonderful story. And you may remember the dog. We have a little dog with us in the shot too. So if you haven't seen that one, scroll back on the fan page. You can check that out. Got a few more minutes here. Got about 5 more minutes here from Niagara Falls. If you're just joining, go ahead and like the page. Go ahead and share it. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Norma says, what would you recommend for my 16-year-old daughter to go to auditions? Well, I do have a recording for Overcome Fear of Auditions. I'd recommend that. But really, it's about confidence. So if she can work with someone one-on-one to build her confidence, that's going to be powerful. Because someone who's 16 and has their whole life ahead of them, if they can make it into something, I imagine it's some show business related situation, that can really set them up for life. That can really help them out. So I would get her every and any help you can. A coach, a hypnotherapist, perhaps a mainstream therapist, and also someone in the industry who knows what they're doing would be great for that. I used to live in Los Angeles, so I know sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. In fact, many times the connections matter. In fact, that's why I'm here, making connections with my old friends and some new friends so that we can further spread the word about hypnosis, and so I can find out what they're doing. They're doing wonderful things in self-help, and I can find out how I can help them as well. Leela says, hello. Well, hello to you, Leela. Norma says, I would love to buy something to help her. Absolutely. Well, there are all kinds of hypnosis recordings available online, not just mine, but there are many of them, and there are many other types of self-help that you can access. So the internet is going to be a great resource for you. And again, if you're just joining me, I'm going to touch on the falls here. Niagara Falls flowing right behind me. Look at that. Look at that view. Can you beat that? That is absolutely amazing. I might have to move in here. I might have to just never leave Canada. It's just such a wonderful view. And the people of Canada are just so amazing. They're very polite and everything's clean and nice and wonderful. I just love this country. And let's see, Norma says, yep, read that. And Gike says, how about subliminal visual messages? Okay, so subliminal visual messages were very popular in the 1970s. This came out of some early pioneer work that was done on subliminal messaging, and some companies got in trouble. You may have heard about Coca-Cola flashing something during the movies. You know, you show the movie or a trailer or something before the movie, and they flash the word, you know, Coca-Cola or buy Coca-Cola. I don't know what exactly they flash, but my understanding is, and I may be wrong on this, but my understanding is that Coca-Cola was doing some of that. I'm not sure about that, so don't take my word for that. But that's what I heard when I was first learning about subliminal technology in the 1970s as a kid. I remember we were talking about that, me and my childhood friends talking about that. I thought, isn't that interesting? So a lot of times that's what people think about when they think about subliminals. They think about, well, didn't some company do that, subliminal marketing? Sometimes you'll see on some vending machines some subliminal marketing. I'm not going to get into that now, but there are things they do that you're not able to detect with your eye at first glance, but they're there. Very interesting, designed to get you to want that brand. So some of it amounts to what we might call trickery. Some of it may have some therapeutic value. So I always look for the stuff that has therapeutic value. We see a lot of it used in marketing. I don't believe in using that kind of thing for marketing. In fact, marketing tests show that if you were to flash something that somebody barely detects versus just showing it to them, when you just show it to them, it works better. Isn't that interesting? So sometimes the direct approach is better. So that's what I like to usually use, and that's why I prefer hypnosis over subliminals mainly, but subliminals do have their place, especially with someone who's very analytical. You need to bypass that critical factor. Let's see, Catherine says, good morning, I'm using one of your programs, finding myself smiling and happy. Excellent. So much more, and things are starting to come to me for manifestation. Love it. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you very much. You know, I had Natalie Ledwell recently from Mind Movies on the interview, and she's all about manifestation, clicking on the waterfalls again, talking about manifestation. And so that's really, you know, put me in that zone even more so. And then that's the great thing about meeting with my friends from around the world, because more than anything, people who work in personal development like I do, who create programs to help people, They just want to give, and they believe in manifestation, and they believe in their possibilities. So I'm very much in that zone right now. So thank you for sharing that. Jason says, will you spell the new website? Absolutely. I will spell the new website that I'm so proud of. It's so streamlined, it's so beautiful and wonderful, created by people who just want to help people. And it's Hypnosis by SteveGJones.com. So that's just Hypnosis, Hypnosis, by, which is B-Y, SteveGJones.com. SteveGJones.com. So check it out. I think you'll find it a helpful resource. I love it. I'm just so proud of it and so happy. I just wanted to share it with you. There are a lot of hypnosis resources online, but I'm just particularly proud of that one because the people behind it are just amazing, wonderful people. Let's see what we got here. Ellen says, beautiful background. Thank you. I agree with that. Dr. Steve, can I get stuck in a hypnotic state? No, and that's a great question. You will not get stuck in a hypnotic state. Some people worry about that. If you go into hypnosis and you fall asleep, remember the states of sleep are no different from the states of hypnosis. If you fall asleep in hypnosis, that's fine. In fact, sometimes preferable, and you will just wake up at the end of a normal nap, so you won't get stuck there. And Lucine says, hey, hello Lucine, how are you? And Alex says, you are awesome, thank you. Well, thank you, Alex. Hugo says, wonderful to see you, Dr. Steve. Thank you as always. Well, you are welcome, Hugo. It's my pleasure to serve the world. It's my pleasure to do my part, and it's an honor. It really is, because without the ability to serve and the ability to make things that help people, I wouldn't even have a career, and I certainly wouldn't be traveling around to places like this, meeting with my wonderful friends and getting to talk to you all. So this has provided a life for me, and the help I give just, perpetuates that. So we all help each other. So thank you also. Morella says, hi, Dr. Steve G. Jones from Greece. I've been to Greece, been to Athens, and I've been to a few islands. I'd like to inform you that for us, European people, it's really difficult to watch you live due to the time difference. In America is afternoon. Yes, I'm well aware of that. When I have conference calls, especially with people in India or Malaysia, I often go the distance. I stay up late so I can talk to them when it's their daytime. But I'm very aware of that time difference, and I just have to do what works for the majority. So I attempt to hit afternoon time in the United States. And let's see what else we have. I'm going to wrap up here in about 2 minutes. So throw out your last questions, and I will handle them. Then I'm going to get back to talking to my wonderful friends. And of course, you're my wonderful friends also, but I'm going to talk to my wonderful friends who are live here at this conference. Mark says, hello, Dr. Steve, you are great. Your program, Wealth Trigger 360. Well, thank you, Mark. Yeah, that program I created with Dr. Joe Vitale. We got a new Wealth Trigger coming out soon. So that's going, the fourth dimension process. Talk about mind-blowing. That's something that Joe Vitale came to me and said, hey, we've got to do this. And I looked at it, I said, you're right. So we filmed it live in Vegas, and we're going to release that soon. So thank you for acknowledging that. That'll be our fourth Wealth Trigger. You're referring to the third one. So I'm glad you enjoy it. And I always like working with Joe. I mean, I always get elevated. My spirit, my everything just gets elevated when I even just sit in Joe's presence. I can just sit next to Dr. Joe Vitale, and it's just everything rises. It's just an amazing experience. He is a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of spirituality and a wealth of just goodness. So I've really enjoyed creating those. Mark says it's super. Well, thank you, Mark. Brenda King says, all right, I'm going to take 2 more questions. One will be Brenda's. What are you doing when you grab them by the neck and say sleep? Okay, so you're referring to some live hypnosis demonstrations of street hypnosis that I did in Savannah, Georgia and Las Vegas, Nevada. That was for the purposes of demonstrating just how powerful the subconscious mind is and how powerful suggestion is. So when you see me doing that on those street hypnosis demonstrations, as we call them, I'm demonstrating the power of hypnosis. And the way that works, Brenda, by the way, is that I'm shocking their conscious mind, and they don't know what to do for a moment. Then I say sleep. So you'll notice I'm usually pulling on their arm and saying sleep. So when you pull on someone's arm, and I'm not recommending that you try this, don't do this unless you're trained in it, but when you pull on someone's arm, as you can imagine, it shocks them, it gets their attention. And then they're looking for what to do. And if you say sleep immediately after that, again, don't try this unless you're trained by a professional. You say sleep immediately after that, then it fills in the blank. What do I do now? Oh, I sleep. But it all has to be done rather quickly. So that's what's going on when you see me pulling people's grabbing people by the neck and saying sleep, as you say. That's what's going on there. Okay, let's see. Hello, you sleep. Hello to you too. Rubio, very nice to see you. Norma says, I lost you. Well, hopefully you'll come back. EK says, okay, what about conversational hypnosis? So this will be my last question. If you're just joining, go ahead and share this with everyone. Go ahead and like it. Go ahead and subscribe. I'm clicking on the falls behind me so you can see them and enjoy them live. But the final question, what about conversational hypnosis? Conversational hypnosis is something, and you can Google Steve G. Jones conversational hypnosis and find out more about that. But conversational hypnosis is based on the idea that you can use conversation in a waking state. Now, you never use this to manipulate someone for your own good. In other words, you don't use it to control people, make them into zombies. It doesn't work like that. Conversational hypnosis is based on the premise that you're a good person. Let's say you're in a job interview. You're a good person. You've got value to add, but you want to communicate that to the person interviewing you. So there are a lot of conscious hypnosis things you can do to help yourself out, such as anchoring, for example. When you talk about wonderful people, if you're touching an area within a 1 foot radius of your solar plexus while you're saying something positive, that person's going to attribute that word to you. So if you want to use this in a positive way, all you would do is talk about something, anything at all. Let's say, I love Canada because the people are wonderful. And so I'm talking about Canada, but I'm touching here when I say wonderful. So we're linking wonderful with me. So if you're in an interview, you can see how that would hold power for you. So if they're looking for someone creative and intelligent, that's all you do is you find a reason to touch this area within a 1 foot radius of your solar plexus when you're saying that word. Confident, creative, motivated, whatever they're looking for. So that's the short answer. The long answer is available online. So just Google Steve G. Jones conversational hypnosis and you'll find out all about that. And that brings us to the end of today's broadcast. So if you haven't already done so, go ahead and share this with people. Go ahead and like it. Go ahead and subscribe so you can check me out next time. Again, the site that I'm bragging about, just because I'm so happy about it, is Hypnosis by SteveGJones.com. I'll get over it eventually, but I'm just so happy when I look at it. It's such a beautiful site that offers the help that people need. And I'm here to answer your questions. I'm going to do these regularly. Typically, when my schedule settles down, I'll probably do them Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But as I'm traveling the next couple weeks, it's going to be hit and miss, but I'm going to attempt to do them at least 3 times a week. After I leave here, I will be in Florida, so I promise you another beautiful view. Let me give you one last view of that. The Niagara Falls there. Flows in from New York, flows down here to the Canadian side. Just a wonderful view. So my love to all of you. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being interested in bettering yourself and improving yourself, because that's what this is all about. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. That's how we get better, by taking an interest in it and being active participants in our own growth, by taking control, by taking charge, by taking responsibility. So I salute you for taking that responsibility. I'm Dr. Steve G. Jones, hoping you have an outstanding day.